The results have largely been good. There's just been too many draws, though. That's what's held them back from the automatic promotion places. We are off and underway at the Gateshead International Stadium. Newcastle have only lost 3 games this season in the league. They've all been to the top 2, losing twice to Charlton, once to Birmingham. So you've got to be very, very good in this division to beat Newcastle, but all too often there's been too many draws. Bojorka with the first shot of the game for Forest, well off target, but worth a crack from Chantel Bojorka in the form she is in. 7 goals for Forest in the league this season. She's their top scorer. Bizarrely though, all 7 of those goals have come at home at the City Ground. Can she get her first league goal away from home this afternoon? Former Everton player, of course, Chantel Bojorka. Rogers back to Mustaki. Mustaki all the way back to Emily Batty, who's not missed a minute of league football for Forest this season. Emma Kelly recently voted Newcastle's Player of the Month, the number 8 in the middle of the park. Freya Gregory tries to thread it through, but it's given away. Anna Tamanen, she too has been in fine form between the sticks, the Finnish goalkeeper. Signed last summer from Hammarby, the Newcastle goalkeeper. It's back with Tamanen now, passed to her by Aoife Mannion, another player who's played every single minute at Barclays Women's Super League 2 football this season, the former Manchester United player. So much experience in this Newcastle team. I mentioned how, of course, Jordan Nobbs was part of the England squad at the last World Cup. Morgan Gautreau in the team this afternoon, twice a World Cup winner with the USA. Aoife Mannion was in the England squad a couple of times before the Serena Wiegman era began. She never won an England cap. She is now, of course, very much a Republic of Ireland international, is Newcastle's number 25. And after this match, a lot of these players will be heading off on international duty. The World Cup qualifiers recommence. There is Mannion threading it off to Charlotte Wardlaw, former Chelsea player. She checks back and knocks it inside to Gautreau. Now with Nobbs, back to Mannion. Mannion's put under pressure by Rogers, but Nobbs picks it up for the hosts and sweeps it out to the left-hand flank. It's knocked on towards Murphy. Lovely touch by Emily Murphy. Murphy drives forward. Is she going to get a shot away? She is. It's low, but it's straight into the grateful arms of Emily Batty. Newcastle's first effort on target of the day. It was an ambitious one from Murphy. Kirsty Smith lays it out to the right-hand side. It's picked up again by Murphy, but she can't pick out Nobbs, and it's back with Batty once more. Aoife Mannion and Emily Murphy of Newcastle, 2 of those players who are about to head off on international duty with the Republic of Ireland. They're in the squad for the World Cup qualifying doubleheader against Poland. There's Tanya Oxtoby, the Newcastle manager, who will have a fairly quiet training ground over the next couple of weeks with players off on international duty. Those Ireland players will join up with Jessie Stapleton, Chloe Mustaki and Leanne Kiernan, 3 Nottingham Forest players. Jessie Stapleton not involved this afternoon. And the referee Fabio Rock's whistle goes for an offside, and you can see the assistant referee's flag fluttering in the wind and the hair of a lot of the players too. Still very windy conditions in the northeast after the overnight storms. Of course, not too far away, Durham Cricket Ground today had to advise fans not to travel because there was some overnight damage caused there by the storms. Fortunately, everything safe and well at the Gateshead International Stadium. Salmon to Mannion, out to Wardlaw. Just a reminder, of course, that WSL Football launched their brand new app offering fans of both the Barclays WSL and WSL2 a front row seat to exclusive content and all the games broadcast on the league's YouTube channels. To download the app for free, you can search WSL Football in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store. Well worth getting your hands on that. Certainly to follow every twist and turn of these last few weeks in the Barclays WSL, WSL2. Carly Davis, who has got a lot out of this Nottingham Forest team in their first season in WSL2. She signed a new contract back in November of 2024, running to 2027. They want to be getting themselves up and around those promotion positions in the not too distant future. It was perhaps optimistic to think about doing that in their very first season. They were certainly active in both transfer windows though. 15 signings last summer, many more coming in the winter window too. Tanya Oxtoby, she was pretty crestfallen after that weird Tyne derby last week. Newcastle had what they thought was, and what indeed looked like, a very good goal not given. The offside flag went up against Emily Murphy. Of course, the game ended 1-1. If that one had counted, it may well have been 2-1 to Newcastle, and they would have been level pegging with Crystal Palace for that playoff position. Nobbs goes from distance. It's dropping well over the bar. And the conditions may well play in the favour of some ambitious efforts like that this afternoon. Of course, the goalkeepers are not going to quite know what the wind is doing. Could be a difficult afternoon between the sticks for the likes of Emily Batty and Anna Tamanen. This one didn't unduly trouble Batty. Mustaki is given away, but retrieved quickly by Mustaki, and she finds Boychorka. Boychorka tries to wriggle her way through. Now it's with Omewa. Rogers. Mustaki dinks it over the top. Boychorka is still down, but Forest are on the charge here with Omewa. Heavy touch comes off Kiernan, on loan from Liverpool for the rest of the season, as Leanne Kiernan, signed in January. Former West Ham United player too, of course. Couture, twice World Cup winner, Newcastle number 7. Savenius can't quite keep it in. She made a real impact last week, did the Finland player Savenius, after coming off the bench against Sunderland and scoring the equaliser. What a finish it was too. Received it with her back to goal on the edge of the area, turned and fizzed it home. Wardlaw with the throw in for Newcastle. It's back with Wardlaw. She nutmegs Rogers. Savenius back to Wardlaw. Lovely flicked pass by Savenius. Murphy's knocked to the turf. Referee plays on. Pass back to Batty, who does get it away as far as the halfway line, but it's one straight back by Newcastle. I mentioned all those draws that Newcastle have been having. They have only lost 3 in the league all season. As mentioned, those only defeats, twice to Charlton and once to Birmingham, the top 2. Birmingham currently leading the way on goal difference. And they've only lost once in the league since September, have Newcastle, but too many draws Played 19 coming into this one, won 8, drawn 8, and lost just to 3. Murphy turns for Forest, and it flicks off a Newcastle heel and out for a Forest throw. Well, Tanya Roxby's not happy with something there on the sidelines. Can't think it was with that decision, because it did look clearly like a Forest throw, but something has upset her. Murphy on the charge once more for Newcastle. Kiernan wins it back for Forest. There's a real tussle there between Gregory and Kiernan, and the free kick goes Kiernan's way. To be taken by Keris Brown on loan from London City Lionesses. Since January, she too has made a real impact with her balls into the box from the right-hand flank. Boyd Hawker goes for goal again, her second attempt of the afternoon. This one hits the target, but it is too close to Tamanen. Nobbs to Savenius. Couture. Kelly tries to get there. Gregory momentarily had it. Murphy through the middle to Amewa. He shrugs off the challenge from Mannion, but loses touch on the ball, and it's out of play for a Forest throw. Just over 12 minutes in, and Newcastle with the lion's share of possession, 66% to the home side. Oh, lovely ball over the top. Forest get players back just in time though. Now it's with Murphy. Wardlaw inside to Nobbs. Nobbs dinks one over the top. Headed back across goal in the direction of Savenius. Oh, Wardlaw's won it back for Newcastle. Couture. Another high hanging ball into the box from Nobbs. Gregory heads it back in the general direction of Murphy, but Smith got the header on it for Forest. Really positive bit of play this from Newcastle. Savenius not going to be able to get on the end of that one though, and it's out of play and behind for a Nottingham Forest goal kick. Well, some good news from Newcastle from the other corner of the northeast this afternoon, because one of their rivals for the playoff promotion place, Bristol City, have been held to a 2-2 draw by Durham. Durham right down near the bottom, fighting relegation, but another point helping them towards survival, Durham. And it was a penalty in added time from Beth Heppel, which evened that one up at 2-2. So that just helps Newcastle in their push to secure that third place and the playoff promotion spots. It is, though, Crystal Palace in the driving seat, of course. They kicked off this afternoon at the same time as this game at home to relegation-threatened Ipswich, 3 points ahead of Newcastle. I believe the latest there is still goalless as well. Rowe to Rogers, and now with Smith. Mustaki. Mustaki with a lovely ball out to Boyd Hawker on the halfway line. She flicks one over the top for Kiernan to give chase, but Tamanen read it well. Managed to get enough distance on the clearance to carry it away from danger. Throw in which Brown will take. In fact, she's left it for Smith. Gatraw is tussled off the ball by Rogers. Rowe to Brown. Brown with the high-hanging cross. It's gone straight behind, though, for a Newcastle goal kick. She's been really dangerous in those sort of positions in recent weeks. Threatening balls in from the right-hand side, Kerry Brown. A lot of Forest opportunities coming from there. Oh, it's given away to Murphy! Alana Murphy! Well, she barely celebrates. Such was the gift. Her teammates come across, though, to congratulate her. She kept cool and composed when the opportunity was handed to her on a plate. And Alana Murphy surged into the area and just smashed it low beyond Tamanen for her first goal for Nottingham Forest. The 20-year-old Australian. Well, how about that? You don't get a chance better than that, do you? Newcastle will be absolutely furious with themselves. I'm sure Tanya Oxtoby will be too on that sideline, because we were just talking about how vital it is for Newcastle to get maximum points from this game in the push for the promotion playoff spots. And a huge mistake sees them trailing at home to Nottingham Forest. It's given away once more, this time to Boy Hawker. Well, Alana Murphy arrived in February from the German side SC Sand. Player of huge potential. And she now has her first goal as a Nottingham Forest player. Signed on a permanent contract until 2027. And Anna Tamanen will be distraught with the manner in which Newcastle have gone behind. They were bossing the possession. They were having marginally the better of it in terms of chances created. And then a chance absolutely gifted to Nottingham Forest. Here's Eberhead, the Swedish fullback, to Boy Hawker. But she's dispossessed by Wardlaw, who threads it through to Murphy. Mustaki's done really well, though, to win it back for Forest. But she gives it away as Emma Kelly wins the header. Drops to Gatraw. She lays it off to Kelly. It's now with Gregory. Won back really well by Brown. Strong in the challenge, but not strong in the pass. And it's picked up by Cooper, and now it's with Mannion. Nobbs. Nobbs goes back to Tamanen. Murphy. Mannion, rather, carries it over the halfway line. Given away, though, by Mannion, and now with Boy Lorca. Boy Lorca still surging forward. She's got Kiernan to her right, and she finds Kiernan. Newcastle have got bodies back. Back heel from Kiernan to Boy Lorca. Tries to thread it through to Amewa. But the Newcastle defence holds firm, and now there's a chance for them to counter. Sevenius. She's forced back, though, to Mannion. Nobbs to Gatraw. She goes long for Gregory to give chase. Gregory gets there ahead of Brown. Does really well to hold on to it. Gets the cross in, does Gregory. It's headed up into the air by Smith. Savenius looks to get on the end of it. Can she keep it in? No, it's going to bounce out of play. A wind-assisted bounce. Carried it out of bounds, but it will be a Newcastle throw. Wardlaw to take. Wardlaw finds Murphy. Now with Gautreau. It's back with Murphy. And her pass was too heavy for Kelly. Newcastle being forced all the way back. They've been trailing now for 5 minutes since Alana Murphy was gifted the opener. Her very first goal in Nottingham Forest colours. Long ball forward. It'll carry all the way through to Batty. Smith, former West Ham player. Murphy, the goal scorer, lays it off to Rogers. Head. Rowe. To Murphy. Smith. Smith dinks one over the top for Brown. Brown gets her ahead of Gregory and picks out Rowe. Rowe couldn't quite bring it under control. Kelly wins it back for Newcastle. But Amewa keeps the pressure on. Mannion short ball to Wardlaw. Boy Hawker gives her no room though. Forest doing ever so well, keeping their shape, defending from the front. Smith tries to pick out Kiernan. Kiernan gives chase. Just about manages to keep it in. Still Leanne Kiernan. Lays it back to Brown. Rowe. Murphy. Long ball in the direction of Boy Hawker, who climbed well and kept it in. And now wins it back with a decent first touch. Lays it off to Head. Now it's with Murphy for Newcastle as the wind continues to batter the Gateshead International Stadium. Cooper. Gregory keeps it in, but has to go back. That's with Cooper once more, another former Chelsea player. She plays it across to her fellow defender Mannion. And it's back with Aoife Mannion once more. Just over halfway through the first half. Forest lead through a goal that was gifted to them. Well, elsewhere in this battle for the third promotion spot, the playoff spot, Crystal Palace, who are in the driving seats in that battle, are leading now against Ipswich. That is not good news for Newcastle. Crystal Palace taking the lead through Kirsty Howard just after Newcastle went behind here. So double blow for Newcastle in their promotion push. If Palace win that one, they really can't afford to lose this one, Newcastle. It would leave them 6 behind Palace with just 6 points available. Just 2 games left, of course, after today. Newcastle's final fixtures are away at Bristol City, who are themselves pushing for that third place. And then at home against Durham. Durham still fighting for survival, and it's a North East derby, of course. So 2 really tough fixtures still to come. You would say, given Forest really safely in the mid-table. Well, I'll break off because Forest have a chance for a second. It's a really good save from Tamminen as Kiernan hit the shot low and true. I think the flag was up anyway. It wouldn't have counted. Offside flag against Kiernan. But it was a lovely ball into the feet of Kiernan. She just strayed an inch offside. And Tamminen wasn't to know that. And it was a fine block from the Newcastle goalkeeper. But yeah, in terms of the games Newcastle have left, 2 and 2/3 really, I guess, 2 3/4. This is probably the easiest fixture they have, given that Forest don't have an awful lot to play for. They're safely in mid-table. But you wouldn't know that from the way Forest have approached it this afternoon. They, of course, want to end the season as high up the table as possible. A top 6 finish still very much in their reach, and that would be a really respectable way to finish their first season in Barclays Women's Super League 2. But you do feel Newcastle have to win this one, especially with Palace leading at home against Ipswich. Sevenius. Mannion. Mannion tried to go over at the top, but the ball hung up in the wind. Too much on the pass from Murphy to Nobbs, and Smith picks it up for Forest. Well, it looked to be a foul on Gregory. It was indeed. Referee Fabio Rock saw that brief tug on the shirt of Gregory. And we can look at the moment. The chance from a moment ago. Amewa started the move. Rowe with a lovely ball to Kiernan. Well, from that angle, it did not look offside. The flag went up against Kiernan, and her shot was saved anyway. But she didn't appear to be in an offside position on the basis of that replay. Newcastle with a free kick in a very promising position. Is this the chance to haul themselves level? Jordan Nobbs just levering her teammates into the exact position that she wants them. And Nobbs now hoists it in, but it's headed away by Amewa. Nobbs picks out Murphy. Drops to Mannion. And Sevenius wins the throw-in. Hurls it in the direction of Murphy. Forest win it back. Amewa turns really well against Cooper. She's got Kiernan to the right, but she can't find her because that was a fine foot in from Wardlaw to halt Amewa's progress. Murphy, oh, it got caught under her feet and the whistle's gone anyway. The offside flag's up. Another half chance disappears. Well, in the as it stands table, Crystal Palace currently in that 3rd place, which would bring with it the promotion playoff against the team that finishes bottom of the Barclays WSL. They are currently 6 points clear of Newcastle in 4th place, with 2 games to play after this one. Southampton a further point behind Newcastle in 5th place. Bristol City, having drawn 2-2 at Durham in the midday kickoff, in 6th place on 31. So at the moment, a really good day for Crystal Palace. Newcastle with a lot of work to do to get themselves right back in that battle for 3rd place. Sevenius is unable to work her way out of that position, and it's given away for a Forest throw-in. Rogers now to Smith. It's good foot in by Caitlin Torpey. As some of the fans take a half-hour snack rather than a half-time snack. Fair enough. Cold, windy afternoon. Got to keep yourselves warm in the northeast. Murphy to Gregory. It's gone out of play. Needlessly given away once more for a Forest throw, which Brown will take. Murphy, the goal scorer, comes short. Brown picks out Rowe. Cooper wins the header with Amewa lurking. It's another Forest throw. Comes off Amewa for a Newcastle throw this time. Murphy. Kiernan gives chase. There's a push in the back, surely, of Torpey. But it's gone Forest way with a corner. Well, I felt Torpey was given a bit of a shove there by Leanne Kiernan. It wasn't spotted by the officials. And Forest have a chance to try and double their lead. Corner swept in high. Amewa climbed the highest. They've got a touch on it, but Newcastle scramble it clear. It's back with Forest though. It's over the top towards Kiernan. Smith to Boy Hawker. Nobbs, and a chance for Newcastle to break. Murphy's got a lot to do there though, and Brown just lets it go. Carly Davis will be pretty happy with what she's seen from her Forest players this afternoon. They found it pretty difficult on the road this season, have Nottingham Forest. They played 10 away from home before today, won just 3, drawn 2 and lost 5. So mixed results on the road. Haven't won away since early November when they got a 3-2 victory at Southampton. Well placed to end that away points drought this afternoon, but still a long way to go in this one. Wardlaw back inside to Gautreau. Now it's with Sevenius. Sevenius takes on head. Still on a Sevenius. Oh, and she wasn't able to pick out a teammate. It goes to Kiernan. Brown can't get there, so it is a Newcastle throw. It was a disappointing final ball. Just when it looked like some momentum might be building in that Newcastle attack. Nobbs is loose in the pass, and Forest smash it clear, but it's another Newcastle throw-in. Daniel Oxby frustrated that the officials are waving the throw-in back, not allowing it to be taken from the wrong position, of course. Wardlaw finds Savenius. Back with Mannion. Across to Cooper. Batty is there sharply to clear. And now it's with Rowe. Rowe threads it through to Kiernan. And Mayo surges down the middle. Kiernan tries to pick her out, but didn't get the pass right, and it goes through to Tamanen. She quickly rolls it forward for Mannion to carry it outside the area. It's back with Mannion once more. Wardlaw to Nobbs. Forest are holding their shape really well. They're asking questions of Newcastle. Newcastle are going to have to find a way to pick the lock. Is this their moment? Murphy lays it back. At the moment, it's all too predictable. A little bit hit and hope from Newcastle, and Rowe is body checked there, so it will be a Forest free kick. Fabio Rock appears to have his card out. I didn't quite catch who committed the foul, but we'll confirm who that yellow card was shown to. The yellow card went to Caitlin Torpey of Newcastle, the Australia international, signed in January from Portland Thorns. And a yellow card now shown, I think, for the delaying of the free kick, which would have been Smith delaying that free kick. And now she takes it rather more quickly and finds Brown. And the crowd getting frustrated here. They feel like everything's going against their team. Free kick to Forest. Mustaki stands over it. In it comes from Mustaki. And Mwewa tries to get the head on it. It dropped to Kiernan. Newcastle surge forward now in numbers. Nobbs gives chase. Still Jordan Nobbs. Short ball inside. Murphy gets there first. Well, it was Murphy v Murphy. Alana Murphy did really well to give Emily Murphy not a spare millimetre. Crowded her out. And the shot went straight through to Batty. Murphy back to Batty. Free kick to Newcastle. Well, Emily Murphy did score when these teams met on the opening day. That was a 2-1 win for Newcastle at the City Ground. Scored the opener that day, did Emily Murphy, who won this free kick. She's now headed into the area to try and get on the end of it. Into the final 5 minutes of regulation time at the end of the first half. Newcastle with a chance to bring themselves level. In it comes from Nobbs. Oh, and it bounced up rather awkwardly. Dangerous ball in from Jordan Nobbs. But no one was able to get on the end of it. Just bounced in front of Batty, who couldn't commit herself until she knew whether a Newcastle body was going to get on the end of it. In the end, the danger comes to Nout, and Forest still have their slender lead in the northeast. Wardlaw, long throw for Newcastle, tries to find Savenius. She goes down under pressure from Head, but no foul given. Now it's with Boy Hawker. Throw into Forest. Head will take it. Head gives it away. Savenius gets the block in. Nobbs flicks it on towards Murphy, but Mustak is there for Forest. She calls for the return, but Batty goes long. And it's out of play for a Newcastle throw. Alana Murphy, the goal scorer. Her first goal for Nottingham Forest, signed from the German side SC Sand in February. Still only 20 is the Australian. Savenius brings it down this right-hand side. Still on a Savenius. Gets the cross in. Oh, and there's all sorts of problems at the back. Oh, what a save from Batty. Gautreau with the shots. Well, Forest defence were all over the place. And Morgan Gautreau with the goal beckoning. Got power on the shots. But what a block from Batty. Splendid save. Will surely feature in any save of the season show reel. Preserves a clean sheet for now, but the corner comes in low. Nobbs. Still Jordan Nobbs. Flicks it towards the back post. Murphy gets her head on it. Forest scramble it away. And Maywa bundles through, but the referee blows up because there's a possibility of a head injury. I think Murphy is in a bit of pain, but she's back on her feet. Fabio Rock understandably taking no chances. And he asks Emily Murphy to leave the field. She doesn't appear to be following what he's asking her to do. Well, while that sorts itself out, we can have a look back at this superb save from Emily Batty to preserve the clean sheet for now. Drop to Gautreau. Her first touch was exquisite to put itself in a position where she could get the shot away. But Batty absolutely flung herself at that. Well, Murphy has now had to leave the pitch, as requested by Fabio Rock. The game begins with a drop ball. Head. 45 minutes up, 2 minutes of added time. Head back to Mustaki. Home fans trying to G their team up in the final stages of this first half, but it's Forest on the attack, looking to give themselves a 2-goal cushion heading into the break. Cooper gets the block in. Sevenius clears it beyond the edge of the area. Almost found its way back to Amewa. Murphy, who is now back in play, takes it over the halfway line. Smith backs off. Murphy to Kelly. Wardlaw. Wardlaw tries to pick out Sevenius. Didn't get the direction right on the pass. Drops to Kelly, whose shot flicks up of Smith's heel. Nobbs tries to get there first, but Brown reaches it for Forest. Kiernan with the back heel to Rowe. Rowe does really well to find Kiernan, and she just knocks it out of play. Gautreau, who's had the best chance of the afternoon so far for Newcastle, denied by a splendid Batty save. Into the final 30 seconds of the half in a match which Newcastle really need to win. It's pretty much last chance saloon now. In fact, if they lose this and Palace win, and they'll be 6 points behind the Eagles with only 6 to play. Only 6 points available, rather, only 2 to play, only 6 points available after today. Boy Hawker tries to get on the end of it, and Fabio Rock blows his half-time whistle. Newcastle trail at home to Alana Murphy's 16th minute goal, her first since joining Forest in February. It was gifted to her. Played out from the back straight into her path. Anna Tamanen will be distraught at the move that led to it. And Murphy made no mistake to smash it home from close range. And that's all that separates the teams at the break on an afternoon when Newcastle almost certainly have to win to stay in with a chance of claiming third place and the chance of a playoff against a team that finishes bottom of the Barclays WSL. So the 6 shots from Forest, 2 on target. It has been entertaining, it's been open. At half-time at the break, Newcastle United 0, Nottingham Forest 1. Newcastle still to play Bristol City away on the 26th of April, and then at home to Durham on the final day, May the 3rd. But you really feel, with Crystal Palace leading that Ipswich game, Newcastle really need to win this one. They need to score twice in this second half. But it's Forest with the early running. Boy Hawker tries to pick out Kiernan. No changes at the break. Player from each side was booked in that first half, of course. Caitlin Torpey of Newcastle for a block on Rachel Rowe. And then Kirsty Smith for delaying the resulting free kick for time wasting. Tanya Oxtoby, the Newcastle manager, was lured to the job, left the Northern Ireland position earlier this season to take over after Becky Langley left Newcastle following a slow start to the season. Becky Langley it was who brought Newcastle up from Tier 4 to Tier 2. This is their second season in Barclays Women's Super League 2, Newcastle. And it's Forest's first. Cooper is being forced back by Amewa. Cooper across to Torpey, the Australian. Gregory lays it back to Torpey. Gregory will be heading off on international duty with Scotland. Played for England at age group level, but a Scotland senior international. They've got a World Cup qualifying doubleheader against Belgium. Here is Gregory. Plays it back inside to Torpy. It's with Torpy once more. Gautreau. Gautreau finds Kelly. Kelly tries to thread it through to the on-rushing Nobbs, but Forest got a precious boot in. Kiernan's giving it away though to Wardlaw. Savenius. Savenius comes inside, low shot, straight into the arms of Batty. Mustaki tries to pick out Boychlorka, who couldn't bring it under control, and Wardlaw knocks it out of play for a Forest. Oh, it's gone Newcastle's way. Must have come off a Forest touch last. Murphy holds off the Forest captain Rogers, but can't hold on to the ball. Boychlorka lofts it over the top. Amewa gives chase, but it's all the way back now with Tamanen, who was at fault for that Forest goal. She's had a decent season as Tamanen, signed last summer. The Finnish goalkeeper from the Swedish side Hammarby. It's been more than one game in which she's preserved a point or three for Newcastle this season, Tamanen, but she's very much at fault for the goal. Just a reminder of the teams which took to the pitch this afternoon at the bottom of your screen. Newcastle did make 3 changes, Forest 2. Savenius was one of those changes. Gautreau as well, coming into the starting lineup for Newcastle this afternoon. And Torpy. When it came to the Forest lineup, they were able to welcome back Chloe Mustaki and also Kirsty Smith, but they're missing their captain Georgia Brome this afternoon, and the Irish international, Republic of Ireland international Jessie Stapleton. Nobbs over the top. And now it's back with Batty. Murphy, well, is dispossessed in the manner with which she, almost exact position from which she scored the Forest goal. Alana Murphy almost found herself being dispossessed in the same manner. She got away with it. Just a reminder that WSL Football launched a brand new app offering fans of both the Barclays WSL and WSL2 a front row seat to exclusive content and all the games broadcast on the league's YouTube channels. To download the app for free, you can search WSL Football in the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store. Well worth downloading that in these final thrilling weeks of the season, with so much at stake for Newcastle this afternoon, and so much work to do. They trail this one. They really need to win it to stay in the hunt for third place, which of course for this season, for the first time ever, the top 2 go up automatically to what will become a 14-team Barclays WSL next season. The third place team in Barclays WSL2 will have a 1-match playoff against a team that finishes bottom of the WSL, and the WSL2 team will have the home advantage. At the moment it's Leicester who occupy that bottom spot in WSL. West Ham could still be overhauled by Leicester. I guess you can't entirely discount Liverpool, but it looks most likely to be Leicester, possibly West Ham, who finished bottom of the Barclays WSL. In past seasons, that would have meant automatic relegation. This year, they will have a second chance, a one-match playoff away to the team that finishes third in Barclays WSL 2. Newcastle hoping to be that team, but it's Crystal Palace in pole position in that battle right now. Crystal Palace at home to relegation threatened Ipswich this afternoon in a game that kicks off at the same time as this one. They went ahead, Crystal Palace, at almost exactly the time that Newcastle went behind here. Both scores as yet unchanged. Palace set to go 6 points ahead of Newcastle with just 6 points to play for. And with a slightly superior goal difference to Palace. 4 to the good. And that just shows what's at stake for Newcastle in this second half. 53 minutes on the clock now. They haven't really managed to get going at the start of this second half. Carly Davis, the Nottingham Forest manager, will be delighted with what she's seen from her side. They've not won on the road since November. Way down on the south coast at Southampton. And now they're way up in the northeast, looking for their first 3 points on the road since. Gatra is dispossessed. And May was surging through the middle, and she does get, or it gets caught under her feet. Newcastle win it back. For a moment it looked like an opportunity was opening up, but there could be one opening up now for Newcastle. Kelly picks out Gregory, who's got space on the left flank. Murphy's lurking on the edge of the 6-yard box. And now it does drop to Emily Murphy, who gets there with her head just in time, but Forrest managed to scramble it clear. And Merwood gives it away though. Mannion picks it up for Newcastle. Wardlaw. Nobbs. Torpy to Gregory. Gregory back to Torpy. Lovely ball. Lovely touch from Torpy. Tries to work room for the shot. Forest crowd are out. Really good defending from the visitors. But it was a lovely move from Torpy and Gregory combined. Mannion to Gatraw. Nobbs through the middle. Wardlaw being urged to shoot by the fans. Still Wardlaw. Head with the back heel. Forest clear. Newcastle throw. Now it's with Nobbs. Long ball into the path of Murphy, but Batty read it really well. It was a dangerous whipped ball. Could have come off anyone really, but it didn't get a touch. Free kick goes for the foul by Kiernan on Torpy, who herself went into the book in the first half for a block on Rachel Rowe. Cooper to Torpy. Picks out Murphy. Murphy gives it away though, as Head knocks it back to Batty, who didn't get much height on the clearance, and it's coming straight back at her. As Newcastle look to build again. But it's gone out of play for a Forest throw. Well, Joy Amaya has been replaced Amy Claypole. The first change of the afternoon. As Amy Claypole comes on for Joy Amaya. So Joy Amaya not adding to her 3 goals in 6 games so far. 6.5 games now for Forest. She's been a great signing as Joy Amaya, but not able to add to that goal tally this afternoon. She's gone off and been replaced by Amy Claypole. Former Chelsea player. Has already got 4 goals this season. This is her 8th appearance from the bench. She's also started 7 games in the league, has Amy Claypole. Still only 20 years old. Signed from Chelsea on a 2-year deal last August. Had significant time on the sidelines with an injury earlier this season. Marked her comeback when she came on and scored the rebound from her own injury time missed penalty against Sunderland. And Newcastle responding with their first change of the afternoon. Beth Lumsden coming on. The number 26. Freya Gregory going off. You can hear what the fans think about that. They're delighted to see Lumsden entering the fray. She's scored 4 in the Barclays WSL 2 this season, also weighed in with 3 assists. That's the 26-year-old. Always a goal threat is Beth Lumsden. And they need one in this closing half hour to Newcastle as they look to turn this game around. Victory almost vital for them this afternoon in the battle for 3rd place and the right to play off for promotion to the Barclays Women's Super League. Kelly can only loft it high into the air. Claypole tries to get there first for Forest, but Newcastle can try and build something down the left-hand flank. Torpy with the throw-in for Newcastle. She's stolen a good few yards and she's being marshalled back into position by referee Fabio Rock. Gatraw plays it back to Torpy. She's given it away. Now it's with Kiernan. But Gatraw and Lumsden between them win it back for Newcastle. Still Lumsden. Gatraw. Straight down the central channel for Murphy to give chase. It goes all the way through to Batty. Rogers. Back to Mustaki. Mustaki over the top to Claypole, who's just come on, but she loses the ball. And Murphy gives it away. Newcastle on the charge with Nobbs. Sevenius in towards Lumsden. Drops to Nobbs. Lovely touch from Nobbs. Low shot comes in. It's blocked and cleared at the second attempt by Rowe. Newcastle fans trying to lift their team. Tanya Oxtoby, the manager, doing likewise. They were among many people's favourites for automatic promotion, were Newcastle at the start of the season. Such the ambition they've shown in the transfer market. Now the playoff position is the most they can hope for, and even that may be slipping beyond their grasp. Here's Lumsden. Couldn't get the shot on target, had the power, but well wide of the near post. From the former Arsenal and Chelsea youth player. Also with Millwall and Charlton and Southampton. She did help two teams win promotion to Barclays WSL 2 back in 2023-24. She was with Portsmouth in the first half of the season. They went up as Southern champions, and then with Newcastle in the second half to help them up to the second tier. Torpy, lovely ball from her once more. Plays it back to Mannion. Nobbs dropping deep. And deeper still, nearly dispossessed by Boy Hawker. Cooper. Wardlaw. Sevenius. Nobbs has found a pocket of space on the edge of the area, but it's a wayward ball in. Boychlorka tries to knock it beyond Wardlaw, and then she would have been pretty much through one-on-one with half a pitch to play. Forest defending stoutly, resolutely, and in number. Newcastle having to commit now in this final half hour. Gatraw to Lumsden. Lumsden wriggles away. Forest player went down clutching her head. The officials didn't see anything, or if they did, they didn't see anything wrong with it. But Fabio Rock will now come across to check on the Forest player who received a blow to the head. I think it was accidental, but a hand into the face. Keris Brown telling the referee what happened there. I think she's claiming she was caught in the eye. Beth Lumsden comes across to help her out. Or we can look again at what happened. Torpy with the layoff to Gatraw. Gatraw found Lumsden. Lumsden through the legs of, well, it may even have been Kiernan who accidentally caught her teammate there. It all happened so quickly. If anything did happen, it certainly wasn't intentional. No foul given by the referee, who in the end had to stop the game because of the head injury. It reconvenes with a drop ball to Newcastle because they had the possession, and well, that turned into a really difficult one for Batty. It was dropping right out of the air beneath the bar on a really blustery day. With the sun low in the sky too, she could well have lost sight of it, but she did really well to make sure she wasn't caught out in what would have been an embarrassing fashion. Goal kick taken by Batty. Just about reaches the halfway line. Boychlorka keeps it in. It's all the way back with Batty once more. Not the greatest clearance, gets away with it. But other attacking options that Tanya Oxtoby has on the bench as Newcastle chase this game. Shania Hales, former Aston Villa and Birmingham forward. Amelia Larson, signed in January from Rosengard. Will she turn to either of those? Another Forest player is down. Fabio Rock, the referee, comes across to check. Tanya Oxtoby works through the puzzle of how to approach this final 23 minutes plus added time. And as the medical staff are on, the other players will have a drinks break. It's Rachel Rowe who got caught in the challenge, who's down and being assessed. Well, how do they approach this final quarter of the game plus added time? Because this is a match of huge significance for Newcastle. Forest less to play for, but they've acquitted themselves really well this afternoon. Looking for a first away win since November. And still leading through that gift of a goal, tucked away expertly by Alana Murphy in the 16th minute. We can remind ourselves of the goal that separates the teams. It'd been a pretty decent start by Newcastle, but when Anna Tamanen, the Newcastle goalkeeper, cleared the ball straight into the feet of Alana Murphy, she tucks it home really well. Her very first goal for Nottingham Forest, signed in February from the German side SC Sand. There she is, the number 31. That goal is still the only goal that separates the teams. And elsewhere, Crystal Palace still lead Ipswich by 1-0. If Palace hold on there and Newcastle can't change the scoreline here, then Palace are going to be 6 points clear of Newcastle in the battle for third place, with just 6 points to play for. And Palace with a goal difference that is 4 superior to Newcastle. Palace's win, if they go on and hold on to that, will also knock Southampton and Bristol City out of the race for third place. It will come down to just Palace, who would themselves still have a marginal chance of automatic promotion, and Newcastle. Forest Reading for another change. Tova Almqvist. Well, she is getting ready to come on now, Tova Almqvist. Rachel Rowe, it would appear, is not going to be able to continue. So Tova Almqvist, Swedish central midfielder, coming on for Rachel Rowe. She signed at the start of the season from Djurgården, did Almqvist. Play back underway. Ball drops out of the sky to Torpy. And to the discontent of the home fans, another Forest player is down. And the medical staff are going to have to come on once more, having barely left the field. Brown, who's down this time. As Almqvist still waiting to get on. This will be her 13th appearance of the season, 9 of them from the bench though, just the 4 starts for Tova Almqvist. Keris Brown having to depart momentarily, having received treatments. And the substitution can now take place as Tova Almqvist comes on for Rachel Rowe, who went off injured just a moment ago. The Wales international replaced by the Swedish central midfielder. Keris Brown still being checked on the sideline. Lumsden tries to get away from Kiernan. Kiernan does well but runs straight into trouble. Torpy with the quick throw in. Brown still trying to get back on the pitch. Lumsden with the low ball in, claims handball. Nothing given. Torpy to Murphy. Brown is now allowed to rejoin play. We can look at the handball appeal again. Lumsden, well, it was a decent claim. The arm would probably not be deemed to be in an unnatural position, though. I think the referee probably got that right. Hard though it is to keep up with the handball law these days. Bojorka across the halfway line. Rogers threads it through to Bojorka, returns it to Rogers. Rogers tries to whip it in, but it comes off of Wardlaw and behind for a Forest corner. A little bit of respite for Nottingham Forest. Newcastle have had the majority of the ball in this half and been largely encamped in the Forest half, but Forest have kept their shape really well. Not given much away, but haven't seen much of the ball. Alana Murphy, the goal scorer, to take this corner. In it comes from Murphy. Oh, and it almost came off the head of Claypole. But I don't think she quite managed to get a touch on it. Really good delivery from Murphy. Well, Newcastle ringing the changes. Demi Stokes, Euro 2022 champion with England, coming on for Charlotte Wardlaw. And also a change up top with Amelia Larsson coming on for Ona Savenius. So Amelia Larsson on for Ona Savenius. And also Demi Stokes on for Charlotte Wardlaw. Amelia Larsson, another of the Swedish contingent. Forward, 27-year-old forward, signed in January from Rosengard. Yet to score for Newcastle, hasn't had many chances, has started 3 games, and this is her second substitute appearance. Murphy, lovely turn in the centre of the park, over the top towards Kiernan. Can Kiernan seal the points here? Oh, really smart goalkeeping from Tamminen. And Kiernan's gone down. Well, she caught by the keeper. Tamminen certainly got to the ball, but in the afters, did she accidentally catch Kiernan too? Aoife Mannion comes across and tells Kiernan to stay still. It was really brave goalkeeping, really brave forward play too. Both players committed for the ball. Tamanen got there first, had to time it to perfection to not concede a penalty chance. Kiernan, though, was caught in the aftermath and is the third Forest player in quick succession to require medical assistance. She's now sitting back up. She has to leave the field. Well, the Newcastle fans are not happy with these constant stoppages. They don't believe that they are necessarily all genuine. I think in each instance the players did indeed need to be checked out. It's very hard to tell in the modern game. And it has all become very stop-start this second half. Oh, lovely ball through. Oh, Newcastle almost level through Larson, but the flag is up. It was a delightful through ball. It wouldn't have counted anyway. Larson had strayed offside, but it was another fine stop from Batty. He's had a decent afternoon between the sticks for Forest. What a turn that was by Lumsden. What a lovely ball through. And Larson, even though the flag was up, should really have hit the back of the net. It wouldn't have counted. But she should be beating the keeper from that range, you'd imagine. Really good stop, though, by Batty. Gautreau over the top. And Mustaki and Batty were on the same wavelength. Free kick given against Stokes for the foul on Claypole. Forest free kick. Smith takes it. Picks out Kiernan, whose touch was heavy. Newcastle win it back. Murphy does ever so well to get on the end of this one. Still Murphy. Turns, knocks it towards the penalty spot. Forest clear. Claypole. Tries to pick out Boy Hawker. Picked up by Cooper. Kelly finds Nobbs. Back now with Nobbs. Lovely footwork out on the right-hand flank. Ball lofted up towards Murphy, drops to Lumsden. Oh, crowded out. Great defending again by Forest. Lumsden just couldn't get the shot away. Newcastle building the pressure, but Forest still defending so well, keeping their shape so well. And now Brown with space to surge into. Brown across towards Kiernan. Clearance comes out to Murphy. Head picks it up for Forest. Finds Boy Hawker. In that game which means so much to Newcastle elsewhere, Crystal Palace still leading Ipswich 1-0 in a game that kicked off at the same time. It's Crystal Palace and Newcastle battling it out for third place. Palace haven't yet given up on the slight possibility of automatic promotion. Rodgers to Brown. Brown back inside to Rodgers. Brown looks to take it beyond Stokes but can't get there. Smith to Brown. Kelly wins it back for Newcastle, and it's a lovely ball from Kelly. Here's Larsson looking for her first Newcastle goal. Larsson! Oh, it's another fine stop from Batty. Amelia Larsson sent her sprawling across her goal mouth to palm it behind. Lovely touch it was from Larsson. Did really well to work room for the shot, and what a shot it was. But Batty stood firm and palmed it behind for the Newcastle corner. Time is against Newcastle now. They really don't just need to draw this game, they need to win it. Score here, and it could be a very interesting final 7 minutes plus added time. Low corner in, flicked back towards the header. Murphy drops to Larsson. Claypole scrambles it as far as Torpy. There's half-hearted appeals for a handball. Nothing given. Frantic few moments here at Gateshead International Stadium. Larsson 1-2 with Torpy. Now it's back with Larsson. She has made an impact since coming on. That's a Swedish sub. But now it's Boy Hawker on the charge for Forest. Kiernan's in support. Good defending by Mannion. You feel if Forest get the next goal, that's probably it. Not just for today, but for Newcastle's playoff promotion chances. Cooper knocks it out to the right-hand flank. Tamminen with a long ball forward. Murphy gives chase. Mustaki just lets it roll back to Batty. Tanya Oxtoby preparing another double change. There's Lois Joel and Molly Pike set to come on. Morgan Gautreau and Emma Kelly departing. Also a double sub for Nottingham Forest. So Kelly off, Joel on. Charlie Wellings and Deanne Rose coming on for Forest. And Chantel Boyle-Orca is one of those to make way. Chantel Boyle-Orca had played every single minute of the WSL2 season until recently. This is now the third game in succession in which she's departed. Leanne Kiernan also going off as Deanne Rose, the Canada Olympic gold medalist at Tokyo 2020, played in 2021. Deanne Rose first came to the English game with Reading when they were in the top flight. Really pacey winger. On her day, at this level, can be unplayable, Deanne Rose. It's got just over, 4 minutes plus added time to make an impact. Confirmation too that Charlie Wellings on for Chantel Boyle-Orca. Charlie Wellings, of course, scored in the 2017 FA Cup final for Birmingham. Almost a decade ago now. Newcastle have used their full contingent of 5 subs. Forest could still make one more. Joel, included in the Wales squad for their upcoming World Cup qualifying doubleheader against Albania, was Lois Joel, as is Rachel Rowe of Forest. Brown with the throw for Forest. They'll be happy with the ball in this area of the pitch. Into the dying minutes now. Brown. Almqvist back to Brown. Wellings. It's given away. Emily Murphy. Time really against Newcastle now. Torpy. Nobbs. It's a slip, says the referee, no foul given. Again raises the hackles of the home crowd. Deanne Rose being told to leave the field momentarily so that she can be checked out. There's going to be a fair bit of injury time at the end of this game, given how much treatment we've seen. The medical staff have to get involved time and again. The Forest medical staff. Cooper. To Mannion. Mannion, who was a teammate of the Forest manager, Carly Davis, at Aston Villa way back in the early 2010s. And it's back with Cooper this time, across to Mannion. Mannion out to the right-hand flank. Nobbs. Back now with Cooper. Rose is back on the pitch for Forest. Cooper goes long. Drops to Pike. She did really well to find Murphy. The shot comes in, and this time Batty is beaten. Newcastle find an equaliser as the clock ticks over into the 90th minute. Well, it's been such a frustrating second half for them. But for all of the delays, for all of the frustration, they finally have an equaliser. And it came out of nowhere. Great play from Murphy, and struck home with power and precision from Jordan Nobbs. Newcastle on level terms, right in the dying seconds. Well, when you need a cool head, they don't come much cooler than Jordan Nobbs. She's seen it all. She's done it all. And she's rescued the point that keeps Newcastle's hopes of third place and a promotion playoff alive. But there's another injury, and this time it is the assistant referee by the looks of things. Or sorry, the assistant referee on the near side. David Mitchell, I believe. Well, 10 minutes of added time already for the stoppages because of the injuries to the Forest players. And now we've got another stoppage for the assistant referee, who appears to have a problem with his left foot. He does look to be in a fair bit of pain. Well, you wonder how long this stoppage will be. Will they have to ask for any qualified officials in the crowd? Well, David Mitchell has his left boot back on. Newcastle still celebrating the equaliser. What a finish it was. What a shot it was from Jordan Nobbs to bring Newcastle level. Well, it does seem that the fourth official, John Ashworth-Sears, is going to run the line, because it doesn't appear that David Mitchell can continue, as he exchanges high fives with the Newcastle players and hobbles off the pitch. We're 3 minutes into 10 minutes of added time, but that hasn't even started yet. We've not been able to recommence play since Jordan Nobbs equalised for Newcastle in the, well, first few seconds of added time. And so we're seeing a change of officials here. John Ashworth-Sears, much to the amusement of the crowd, replacing David Mitchell. We assume that they'll find someone to take over the fourth official duties. Perhaps David Mitchell will be fit enough to do that, I suppose. Now, does this delay work in Newcastle's favour? Because they've rescued at least a point here, one would assume. Obviously, still time for Forest to go up the end and get another one themselves, but you would think now Newcastle in the ascendancy with so much more to play for than Forest. So it does appear indeed that David Mitchell, the injured assistant referee, will now take up the fourth official duties, and we can see the fourth official coming on to be the assistant referee, John Ashworth-Sears, to see out this final 10 minutes of added time. Pretty much the entirety of that 10 minutes still to play. So we'll be ticking well beyond 100 minutes on that clock, as they all attempt to sync up their watches. Well, Crystal Palace have beaten Ipswich 1-0. As things stand, they are 5 points ahead of Newcastle, with 6 points to play for after today. Can Newcastle find a late winner here to get themselves to within 3 points of Palace, as things were at the start of play? They've trailed since the 16th minute. They've only just equalised through Jordan Nobbs' screamer from outside the box. We had a long delay since then. And it comes through and almost tapped in from inside the 6-yard box. Well, Newcastle straight up the other end, and Murphy stretching everything to get on the end of that, but couldn't quite get the vital touch. Larson with the layoff, Nobbs the goal scorer, trying to pick out Murphy. She did everything she could to get there, but not quite. I think that Nobbs goal will have just given every Newcastle player a lift. The extra effort, the extra energy to find at the end of a long, tiring afternoon in tricky, blustery conditions in the northeast. But they know their hopes of reaching the playoff position could hinge on what happens in added time here, and they're going for it. Mannion. Inside to Joel. Palace's final two games are away at Sunderland on the 26th, then at home to Portsmouth, who are right down the bottom, scrapping for survival. You'd say that not only do Palace have the benefit of the points cushion, 5 points as things stand right now, they've also got the easier run-in. Not that any game's easy, certainly at this stage of the season, but you would say probably the slightly more favourable fixtures. Newcastle away at Bristol City on the 26th of April, then a North East derby at home to Durham. Pike lofts it towards the far post, and Larson was leaping but couldn't direct the header. She's definitely shaken up that Newcastle forward line since coming on though, Amelia Larson. I think she can be very pleased with the impact she's made from the bench. Now we're in the 10th minute of added time, but there's going to be at least 5 more because it didn't really get going added time until we were 5 minutes into it because of the injury picked up by the assistant referee David Mitchell. Claypole lets that drop out of play. Mannion quick with the throw for Newcastle. Batty gives it away. Sorry, Tamanum rather gives it away. Claypole tries to win it back for Forest. Newcastle get it clear, only as far as Brown. Now it's with the goal scorer Murphy. Mustaki. Torpy. Rose wins it back for Forest. She's got Claypole on the inside. Wellings is charging through. Now it's with Wellings. Is there going to be a late smash and grab from Forest? Almqvist. Wellings wins the corner off of Stokes. The former England international, former Manchester City player Demi Stokes. Captain when she's on the pitch, as she is now, wearing the armband. Another player who's brought so much experience here to this Newcastle side, but another one of those signings Newcastle made with the ambition of getting up to the Barclays Women's Super League as quickly as possible. Those promotion hopes are taking a bit of a dent here this afternoon. They really need to win this one. But it's Forest who have a late corner. Still probably about 4 minutes of added time to play. But at the moment, the wind is not allowing that ball to stay in the corner quadrant. It is now, and the corner is taken, but it's blown straight out of play. Jeff Eltingham has now taken over as the fourth official. He was originally here as the referee observer, so you can see him now having taken those duties over from David Mitchell, who was temporarily in that position, having gone off injured, the assistant referee. Lumsden, who played a huge part in the equaliser with her persistence down the left-hand flank. Forest throw. Lumsden quickly back on her feet. Newcastle don't want to waste any time at all. Every second so valuable to them now. Is there time for a late winner here? Stokes with the throw. Drops to Cooper. Joel momentarily had it. Claypole. Got Wellings to her right. Here is Charlie Wellings. Can she steal a late winner towards Rose? It's knocked behind. It'll be another Forest corner. Forest not in a hurry to take it. They'll eke up as many seconds as they can and then hope that this proves to be the last chance of the game. I think there might still be a couple more minutes. Knocked towards the back post. Will it drop to Rose? Nobbs scrambles it clear. Lumsden picks it up for Newcastle. Does really well to play it inside to Stokes. Pike out to the right-hand flank. Last chance saloon for Newcastle. Rose over the top. Cooper for the home side. Now Lois Joel. And the final whistle does go on a frustrating afternoon for Newcastle United. Tanya Oxtoby feels there should have been yet more added time. We played 105 minutes. And Newcastle's push for the promotion playoff place has taken a huge blow. They've been held to a 1-1 draw by Nottingham Forest on an afternoon when Crystal Palace held on to beat Ipswich 1-0. That win for Palace means Bristol City and Southampton can no longer reach the playoff position. And Newcastle were 5 points behind Palace with 2 games still to play. Palace have the slightly superior goal difference too. A goal difference that's 3 superior. Jordan Nobbs with the precious equaliser though, that has at least given Newcastle a point. It was a brilliant finish from outside the box from the former Arsenal and England star. And on Easter Sunday at least, there's a red card being shown, I think, to a member of the the Newcastle coaching staff, I think. A red card showing there to a member of the Newcastle United coaching staff. Emotions have been running high. It's been a somewhat disappointing afternoon really for Newcastle. It's been a stop-start afternoon. So many injuries. An injury to the assistant referee too. You can see on the right side of the screen, that's actually the fourth official. He had to come on and replace the injured assistant referee. At the end of the day, though, it has all ended. Newcastle United 1, Nottingham Forest 1. Well, we can look at the tail of the tape. 14 shots from Newcastle, 7 from Forest, 5 on target Newcastle, 2 from Forest. Only one clear-cut chance each. Only one goal each in the end. 71% of the aerial duels won by Newcastle. They were the stronger in that facet. And greater passing accuracy too from the home team. And we can look at the results from this week. Fixtures spread out throughout the week. Birmingham City 1, Sunderland 0 on Wednesday. Birmingham now top on goal difference from Charlton, who are in FA Cup action against Liverpool this afternoon. They are the top two at the moment, Birmingham and Charlton. Those two go up automatically. Southampton beat Sheffield United 5-2, but they can't reach the playoff position now. That's because of Palace's win today. That's also the case for Bristol City, who let in an injury time penalty in a 2-2 draw with Durham. And Newcastle against Nottingham Forest here in Gateshead finished 1-1. And this is how those results leave the table. Most teams with just 2 games to play. Sheffield United and Ipswich both have an extra game. Birmingham top on goal difference from Charlton. The top 2 go up automatically. The third place team will play off against the team that finishes bottom of the Barclays Women's Super League. That will be a one-off playoff, and the WSL 2 team will have the home advantage. Newcastle now 5 points behind Palace with just 6 points available. And the red card we saw given at the end of that game was shown to Newcastle's backroom staff, Stephen Bruss. So the red card handed to a member of the Newcastle coaching team, Stephen Bruss. Quite an eventful afternoon at the Gateshead International Stadium. Thank you for joining us on Easter Sunday, and we can look back at the best moments from that game. It kept us guessing right until the end. Jordan Nobbs with a stunner of an equaliser to give Newcastle a precious, precious point. They started well, did the home side. Emily Murphy driving forward. She scored on the opening day against Forest in a 2-1 win early on. She was trying to give them an early lead this afternoon. Easy stop that for Batty, who was at full stretch more than once on the afternoon. This was a giveaway from Tamanen, the Newcastle goalkeeper, straight to Alana Murphy, the 20-year-old Australian, signed in February, tucking home her first goal for Forest in the 16th minute. The goal which separated the teams for pretty much the entirety of the rest of the afternoon, but not quite. Ona Savenius started this afternoon, and her cross led to Morgan Gatrat's close-range shot, which was superbly saved by Batty. 2-time World Cup winner with the USA, Gatrat couldn't beat Emily Batty. Newcastle pushed for the second half equaliser. It was another comfortable shot for Batty to save. Savenius Couldn't get the necessary purchase on that one. Batty alert with the high hanging ball from Nobbs. Almost course out. Palmed away by the Forest keeper. Forest looked to double their lead from a corner which almost glanced off the head of the substitute Claypole. Murphy, the goal scorer, with the fine delivery from that corner. Claypole a hair's width away from getting a touch. Murphy also set Kiernan away. Her first touch was heavy. She didn't give up the chase. Tamanum was really brave, the Newcastle goalkeeper. Kiernan was coarse after the ball, but she was okay after receiving treatment. Larson, the substitute, pulled another fine save out of Batty. Good stop by the Forest keeper. And when everyone was just beginning to think it was not going to be Newcastle's day, Murphy played it back to Nobbs, and what a finish from the former England player to salvage a point for Newcastle and leave them with the slimmest still of hopes of claiming third place and a promotion playoff. Well, thanks for joining us at the Gateshead International Stadium on an afternoon where it has finished Newcastle United 1, Nottingham Forest 1.